The Galactic Observatory Station hummed with anticipation as Commander Vextar adjusted his bioluminescent sensors. His species, the Zephyrians, had been monitoring Earth for decades, cataloging what they considered a primitive civilization stuck in the early stages of technological development. Their reports consistently noted humans as pedestrian bipeds with limited mobility enhancement. "Sir," called out Lieutenant Cora from her station, her crystalline fingers dancing over holographic displays. "The human settlement designated Marathon Prime is experiencing unusual activity. Large congregations are forming along predetermined pathways." Vextar's 4 eyes narrowed in concentration. The Zephyrians had achieved interstellar travel through advanced propulsion systems that could bend spacetime itself. Their own locomotion involved sophisticated anti-gravity pods that could traverse vast distances instantaneously. The idea of physical movement for recreational purposes was utterly foreign to them. "Magnify the surface scan," he ordered. "Let's observe these primitive rituals." The main viewing sphere flickered to life, displaying thousands of humans gathering in what appeared to be some sort of ceremonial formation. They wore strange, colorful coverings and seemed to be attaching peculiar devices to their lower extremities. "What are those appendage modifications?" asked Ensign BLYX, his tentacles quivering with curiosity. Lieutenant Cora ran the objects through their xenobiology database. "According to our classification system, they appear to be rudimentary foot enhancers. Primitive cushioning systems with minimal technological integration. No anti-gravity capability, no propulsion systems, no neural interface. Just padding." Commander Vextar found this fascinating. Throughout their exploration of the galaxy, they had encountered hundreds of civilizations. Most species either achieved rapid technological advancement or remained completely static. But humans seemed to occupy a strange middle ground, advanced enough for complex social organization, yet still relying on biological locomotion. "Curious," he mused. "They've developed sophisticated communication networks, basic space travel, and complex urban infrastructure, yet they still depend on their original appendages for movement. And now they're enhancing them with primitive materials." The crew watched in bewilderment as the humans began moving in unison, their foot enhancers striking the ground in rhythmic patterns. What the aliens didn't realize was that they were witnessing the start of the city's annual marathon, an event that would completely shatter their understanding of human capabilities. "Initiate detailed behavioral analysis," Vextar commanded. "I want to understand this peculiar ritual. Perhaps it will provide insight into their evolutionary trajectory." None of them could have predicted what they were about to witness. 3 hours into their observation, the Zephyrian crew sat in stunned silence. What had begun as casual anthropological study had evolved into something that defied their understanding of biological limitations. "Run the calculations again," Commander Vextar demanded, his bioluminescent patches flickering with agitation. Lieutenant Cora's crystalline form seemed to vibrate with disbelief. "Sir, the readings are consistent across all measurement systems. The leading human specimens are maintaining velocities that should be impossible for their muscular structure and cardiovascular systems." The main display showed a human designated as Runner Alpha moving through the urban landscape with mechanical precision. His foot enhancers, which the aliens now realized were called running shoes, struck the pavement in a perfect rhythm that seemed to defy physics. "According to our biological models," Ensign BLYX reported, "their primitive foot enhancers should provide minimal energy return. Yet somehow, they're achieving efficiency ratings that approach our own anti-gravity systems." Commander Vextar studied the data streams flowing across his console. The humans weren't just moving fast, they were sustaining these speeds across vast distances. Their primitive technology was somehow amplifying their biological capabilities in ways that their advanced civilization couldn't explain. "Cross-reference with our propulsion efficiency database," he ordered. The results were astounding. These humans, using nothing but refined materials and basic engineering principles, were achieving movement efficiency that rivaled technologies from civilizations centuries ahead of Earth's apparent development level. "Sir," Lieutenant Cora's voice carried a tremor of excitement, I'm detecting something extraordinary in their biorhythms. Their cardiovascular systems aren't just coping with these speeds, they're optimizing in real time. It's as if their entire physiology is designed for this type of locomotion. The aliens watched in fascination as Runner Alpha navigated through the urban environment, his foot enhancers adapting to different surface textures and inclines. What appeared to be simple cushioning was actually a sophisticated interface between human biomechanics and environmental physics. Impossible, Vextar whispered. They're not using any external energy source. This is pure biological mechanical synergy. Ensign BLYX pulled up comparative data from other observed civilizations. Commander, in our entire galactic survey, we've never encountered a species that achieved such locomotion efficiency without advanced technology. They're outperforming civilizations that have had anti-gravity for millennia. The breakthrough moment came when they realized the truth: these weren't primitive foot enhancers at all. They were witnessing the pinnacle of evolutionary engineering, a perfect marriage between biological adaptation and applied physics that their own over-technologized civilization had somehow missed. Prepare detailed analysis protocols, Commander Vextar ordered, his voice filled with newfound respect. We may need to completely revise our assessment of human technological capabilities. The Zephyrian science team worked frantically to understand what they were witnessing. Their most advanced physicists had joined the observation mission, and their preliminary findings were revolutionary. Commander, announced Dr. Thylix, the station's chief physicist, these humans have achieved something we considered theoretically impossible. They've created a perfect kinetic energy loop using only primitive materials and biological optimization. The main display now showed detailed biomechanical analysis of the human runners. Every step revealed a complex dance of physics that seemed to violate several laws the Zephyrians had considered universal. Explain, Vextar commanded, his 4 eyes fixed on the swirling data patterns. Dr. Thylix manipulated the holographic display, highlighting the interaction between human feet and their enhancement devices. Watch this carefully. When the human foot strikes the ground, the shoe, as they call it, compresses along multiple vectors. But instead of absorbing the energy and dissipating it as heat, the materials store it and return nearly 90% back to the runner. Lieutenant Cora gasped, her crystalline form pulsing with amazement. That's impossible with primitive materials. That's what we thought, Dr. Thylix continued. But humans have engineered these devices using a combination of foam architectures, carbon fiber plates, and geometric designs that create what we can only describe as biological amplification chambers. The aliens watched as Runner Alpha approached a steep incline. Instead of slowing down, his pace actually increased. The foot enhancers seemed to transform the challenging terrain into an advantage. The carbon fiber plates act as energy storage and return systems, Dr. Thylix explained. Combined with the foam's cellular structure, they create a spring-like mechanism that actually adds energy to each step. It's like they've turned their feet into miniature propulsion systems. Ensign BLYX studied his console readings. Sir, I'm detecting something else extraordinary. The human's running form is adapting in real time to maximize the efficiency of these devices. Their entire skeletal and muscular systems are working in perfect harmony with the technology. Commander Vextar felt his understanding of civilization development crumbling. Are you telling me that these primitive beings have achieved propulsion efficiency through pure engineering innovation? More than that, Dr. Thylix replied. They've done something we never considered possible. Instead of replacing their biological systems with technology, they've enhanced them. The foot enhancers don't work independently, they require the human's natural biomechanics to function. It's symbiotic technology. The observation team watched in awe as hundreds of humans demonstrated this remarkable human-machine integration. Each runner had become a perfectly tuned biological machine, their primitive foot enhancers transforming them into beings capable of sustained high-speed locomotion across vast distances. Prepare full technological assessment protocols, Vextar ordered. We may need to completely revise our understanding of evolutionary advancement. As the marathon entered its 4th hour, the Zephyrian observers faced a revelation that challenged everything they understood about biological limitations and technological evolution. "Commander," Lieutenant Cora reported, her voice filled with disbelief, "the humans are not only maintaining their impossible speeds, some are actually accelerating." The main display tracked Runner Alpha and several other participants who had been running for over 3 hours at velocities that should have exhausted them within minutes. Their foot enhancers showed no signs of degradation, and more surprisingly, the humans themselves appeared to be entering some sort of enhanced performance state. "Magnify bioscan resolution," Vexstar ordered. "I want to understand what's happening at the cellular level." Dr. Thylix worked furiously at his analysis station. "Sir, this is unprecedented. Their cardiovascular systems have shifted into what appears to be a secondary operational mode. Heart rates have stabilized, oxygen consumption has optimized, and their muscular systems are demonstrating efficiency patterns we've never recorded in any biological organism." The aliens watched in amazement as Runner Alpha navigated through mile 20. His foot enhancers continued their perfect energy return cycle, but something else was happening. His entire physiological system seemed to be working in harmony with the technology in ways that transcended simple mechanical enhancement. "It's not just the foot enhancers," Ensign BLYX observed. "The humans have trained their bodies to maximize the technology's potential. They've essentially evolved their running form to create perfect synergy with their primitive devices." Commander Vexstar studied the data streams. "Dr. Thylix, compare these endurance readings to our own species' capabilities with full anti-gravity assistance." The results were shocking. Dr. Thylix's bioluminescent patterns flickered rapidly as he processed the data. "Commander, these humans are achieving sustained locomotion efficiency that exceeds our own performance metrics. With nothing but biological systems and primitive foot enhancement technology, they're outperforming our advanced civilization." The revelation hit them like a cosmic shockwave. For centuries, the Zephyrians had assumed that technological advancement meant replacing biological systems with artificial ones. They had developed anti-gravity pods specifically because they believed biological locomotion was inherently inferior. "Sir," Lieutenant Cora called out, "I'm detecting something else extraordinary. The humans' foot enhancers are showing wear patterns, but instead of degrading performance, they seem to be adapting to each individual runner's biomechanics." Dr. Thylix confirmed the observation. "The materials are actually conforming to optimize energy return for each specific human. It's as if the technology is learning and evolving in real time." Runner Alpha crested another hill, his form perfect, his foot enhancers working in flawless harmony with his stride. The alien observers realized they weren't just witnessing athletic performance, they were seeing the pinnacle of evolutionary engineering, where biology and technology had merged into something greater than either could achieve alone. "Prepare comprehensive technological analysis," Vexstar commanded. "We need to understand how a primitive civilization achieved what we considered impossible." The marathon's final phase revealed the most astounding aspect of human foot enhancer technology: the competitive optimization that pushed both biology and engineering beyond theoretical limits. "Commander, we have a situation developing," Lieutenant Cora announced, her crystalline form vibrating with excitement. "Multiple humans are engaging in what appears to be direct competitive interaction while maintaining impossible velocities." The main display showed Runner Alpha and several other participants moving in a tight group, their foot enhancers working in perfect synchronization as they maintained sub-5-minute mile paces after running for nearly 4 hours. The Zephyrian observers had never witnessed such sustained high-performance competition in any biological species. "Analyze their biomechanical interactions," Vexstar ordered. Dr. Thylix's readings showed something remarkable. "Sir, they're not just competing, they're actually enhancing each other's performance through aerodynamic cooperation. Their foot enhancers are adapting to maintain optimal efficiency even while running in formation." The aliens watched as the lead group navigated through the urban landscape like a perfectly coordinated machine. Each runner's foot enhancers were responding not just to individual biomechanics, but to the group dynamics, creating a collective efficiency that exceeded individual capabilities. "This is revolutionary," EnhancersHFY observed. They've achieved technological symbiosis not just between human and device, but between multiple human-device systems operating in concert. Commander Vextar studied the tactical implications. Throughout the galaxy, they had encountered countless civilizations with advanced propulsion technology, but none had achieved this level of biological-mechanical social integration. Dr. Thylix, what are the theoretical limits of their performance? The physicist ran complex calculations across multiple scenarios. Commander, based on current observations, there may be no limits. The foot enhancers appear to be unlocking biological potential that we didn't know existed. Each human is essentially becoming a biological spacecraft optimized for surface navigation. The most shocking moment came when Runner Alpha broke away from the group in the final miles. His foot enhancers seemed to enter an entirely different operational mode, the energy return increased, his stride lengthened, and his speed reached levels that should have been impossible for any biological organism. Speed analysis confirms it, Lieutenant Cora reported. He's now moving faster than our own personnel transport pods in standard configuration. The implications were staggering. These humans, using primitive materials and basic engineering principles, had created personal propulsion technology that rivaled the transportation systems of advanced galactic civilizations. Sir, Dr. Thylix announced, I'm detecting quantum-level interactions between the foot enhancers and the human nervous system. The technology isn't just enhancing physical performance, it's integrating with their neural networks to optimize movement at the subconscious level. As Runner Alpha approached the finish line, his foot enhancers had transformed him into something beyond the alien's understanding, a perfect fusion of biological evolution and technological innovation that achieved capabilities neither could reach alone. The marathon's conclusion shattered every assumption the Zephyrian observers had made about primitive civilizations and technological development. With less than a mile remaining, the human runners were demonstrating capabilities that defied galactic understanding of biological limitations. Commander, you need to see this, Dr. Thylix called out, his bioluminescent patterns flashing in patterns of pure scientific excitement. The humans are entering what can only be described as a transcendent performance state. The main display focused on Runner Alpha as he began his final sprint. His foot enhancers seemed to have merged completely with his biomechanics, creating a locomotion system that operated beyond the laws of physics as the aliens understood them. Analysis shows energy return efficiency of 107%, Lieutenant Cora reported, her voice filled with disbelief. That's mathematically impossible, they're generating more energy than they're inputting. Commander Vextar watched in amazement as Runner Alpha's stride transformed. Each step with his primitive foot enhancers was creating a propulsive effect that seemed to draw energy from the environment itself. The pavement, the air resistance, even gravity seemed to be working in his favor. Dr. Thylix, explain what we're witnessing. The physicist struggled to find words. Commander, they've achieved something we considered theoretical impossibility. The foot enhancers aren't just returning stored energy, they're somehow harvesting ambient environmental energy and channeling it through the human's biological systems. The aliens observed as multiple runners engaged in the final sprint, their foot enhancers working in harmony to create what appeared to be localized physics manipulation. Each step was generating more forward momentum than the previous one, as if the technology was learning and evolving in real time. Sir, EnhancersHFY announced, I'm detecting temporal anomalies around the runners. The foot enhancers appear to be creating micro-acceleration fields that are slightly compressing spacetime around each footstep. The revelation was extraordinary. These primitive devices weren't just mechanical, they were somehow interfacing with fundamental forces of the universe in ways that the Zephyrians' advanced technology couldn't replicate. Runner Alpha crossed the finish line in a time that should have been impossible for biological locomotion. His foot enhancers had enabled him to cover 26.2 miles in under 2 hours while maintaining perfect biomechanical form throughout the entire distance. Final analysis, Dr. Thylix, Vextar commanded. Commander, these humans have achieved something that redefines our understanding of civilization development. Instead of replacing biological systems with technology, they've enhanced them to reach capabilities that exceed our most advanced artificial systems. The observation team watched as hundreds of other humans finished the marathon, each one demonstrating the remarkable synergy between primitive foot enhancers and optimized human performance. "Sir," Lieutenant Cora observed, "they're not even exhausted. Many appear ready to continue running." The implications were clear: humanity had achieved a level of biological-technological integration that made them potentially the most advanced locomotion-capable species in the known galaxy. In the aftermath of the marathon observation, the Zephyrian command structure faced a complete re-evaluation of their understanding of technological civilization and human potential. Emergency session of the Galactic Council, Commander Vextar announced to his crew. "We need to completely revise our assessment of Earth's civilization status." The observation data was undeniable. Humans, using what appeared to be primitive foot enhancement technology, had achieved locomotion capabilities that exceeded the performance metrics of species thousands of years more advanced. The implications extended far beyond simple athletic achievement. Dr. Thylix compiled his final report while reviewing the extraordinary data. "Commander, these foot enhancers represent a fundamentally different approach to technological development. Instead of replacing biological systems, humans have optimized the interface between biology and technology to achieve unprecedented performance." Lieutenant Cora added her analysis. "Sir, what we witnessed suggests that humans may be the most advanced species in terms of biological-technological integration. They've unlocked potential that we didn't know existed in organic systems." The marathon had revealed that human civilization wasn't primitive at all, it was following an evolutionary path that the rest of the galaxy had missed entirely. While other species had abandoned biological locomotion in favor of artificial propulsion, humans had perfected it. "The strategic implications are enormous," Ensign Blyx observed. "If humans can achieve this level of performance enhancement with basic materials, what might they accomplish with access to advanced galactic technology?" Commander Vextar considered the question carefully. Throughout their galactic surveys, they had encountered civilizations with powerful weapons, advanced spacecraft, and sophisticated artificial intelligence. But they had never encountered a species that could transform individual biological organisms into such highly optimized performance systems. Dr. Thylix, theoretical question: if we combined human foot enhancer technology with our advanced materials and energy systems, what would be possible? The physicist's bioluminescent patterns flickered as he ran calculations. "Commander, the theoretical performance ceiling would be unlimited. Humans have discovered principles of biological enhancement that could revolutionize galactic civilization." The observation team realized they had witnessed something historic. The marathon wasn't just an athletic event, it was a demonstration of humanity's unique evolutionary path toward biological technological supremacy. "Prepare diplomatic contact protocols," Vextar ordered. "We need to establish formal relations with Earth immediately. These humans aren't primitive, they're pioneers of enhancement technology that could benefit the entire galaxy." As the Zephyrian station prepared for first contact, Runner Alpha was already planning his next marathon, completely unaware that his primitive foot enhancers had just elevated humanity to the status of one of the most technologically significant civilizations in galactic history. The age of biological-technological integration was about to begin, and it would start with a simple pair of running shoes that had redefined the possible.